Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Kalidas Manspe, Company Secretary. Today we will discuss the do's and don'ts before entering the stock market. And while doing that, we'll also try to apply the principles of Bhagavad Gita. So today when I talk stock market, of course, there are two ways of entering it. One is directly buying the shares in your Demat account, and the other one is investing through mutual fund route, that is indirect investment. So, whatever now we are going to talk about, they are more or less equally applicable to both kinds of investment. So, before we really enter the stock market, we need to change our mindset. See, most of us are very much conservative in nature. What happens that we are accustomed to quarterly interest from banks by putting the money into fixed deposits so that we feel that yes, it is safe, it is assured every quarter or monthly, whatever scheme we are choosing, we are going to get the money. There is absolutely no hassles, no tension. So all those kinds of things are there. So naturally, we are accustomed to that kind of returns, although it is very less, but still nonetheless, we feel that yes, at least I don't have any tension. Fair enough. But at the same time, we should also understand that putting the money into fixed deposit is nothing but savings. There is a fundamental difference between savings and investment. When you put the money in a fixed income instrument like fixed deposits or something like that, at a very low rate of interest, what you are going to accumulate is just a small amount with a small interest. That's all. Because when we take the rate of inflation, which is now in fact roughly around 6 to 7%, and banks are giving us around 5.5 to say 6%. So although the fixed deposit route is assured in our opinion, and every quarter we are going to get, but when we discuss about the real rate of return, that is return after adjusting for inflation, then in that case sometimes it can be negative. In fact, right now it is going to be negative only. If tomorrow, of course, inflation comes down, but still, I mean, it won't come down to say 0% or something. Obviously, it may come down to say 5% or 4.5 and all that. But even in that case also, what real rate of return we will generate is hardly 1% or something like that. That is the first thing, that is change of mindset. Secondly, why it is required. Somebody may say, I am happy with whatever interest I am getting and all that. The first issue is real rate of return. Second is, if you see the history of the interest rates during last say decade or so, once upon a time there are people who had received interest in the range of 12 to 14% from banks. Over a period of time, the interest rates have come down, and now it is 5.5 to 6% at the most. Of course, there is also a possibility that this trend of decreasing interest rates may continue further. Why I am saying this? That is because, see, the developed economies, the rate of interest what those people get from their bank deposits hardly 1% or 1.5% or something like that. Because then what happens is that the banks pay to the deposits a very nominal rate of interest, and then they get cheaper funds which in turn they lend to businesses. Businesses use those funds for growth in their business, and in turn then they will reward their shareholders. That's how in the developed economies this kind of cycle takes place. We all know that because of the economic reforms which are going on and which may take place further, we are slowly approaching to that tag of a developed economy. We already started the journey. In fact, many experts are also vouching for that, that we are all slowly approaching that tag of developed economy. So in that case, there is a possibility that these rates of interest might come down further. In fact, in some of the developed economies, maybe in 2, 3 countries, there is a negative rate of interest. Now, what is the negative rate of interest? Means you put the money into the bank, and on top of that, instead of receiving interest, you pay the charges to the bank for safekeeping your money. So that is negative rate of interest. So in this situation, if we really want to build some corpus, or if we really want to create some wealth, in that case, investment is the only option. Now in investment, of course, there are so many avenues available, but today we will talk about the stock market. If you see the trend of the stock market during last 2, 3 decades or 4 decades and all that, it has consistently given very good returns as compared to other asset class. Having said that, there is absolutely no guarantee that in future also that kind of trend will continue. That is the first thing. So risk is always there, because it is always said high risk, high return. But there is also one more aspect to this, that since India is going to be developed country, what does it mean? That the businesses here, the companies which are here, they are going to grow. And the moment they are going to grow, when we are saying that they are going to grow, obviously they will grow in sales turnover as well as in profits. The moment they will post higher profits, obviously they can reward their shareholders to a better extent. Secondly, as the legendary investor Peter Lynch puts it, the stock price in the long term is governed by 3 things: earnings, earnings, earnings. So simply speaking, is the profitability of those companies which will drive up the stock prices. The moment the profitability goes up, your stock price is bound to go up. Maybe in short term there could be some hiccups, no doubt about it. In fact, in stock market, every moment there is a change in the stock price. So we should be aware about all these aspects. There is a risk involved, but at the same time, the potential gains could be much higher as compared to other asset classes. So the first thing is that we should change our mindset. We should forget the safety, but at the same time, we should also forget the quarterly returns what we are getting from the fixed deposit. Now, when we say that we should forget the safety, that doesn't mean that we should invest recklessly. No. There are more than 6,000 companies listed on the stock exchanges. That doesn't mean that you can simply pick and choose any company, just put your money and then just keep quiet. No. You must study the companies and then only invest in good companies. Then only there is a possibility that you will really create wealth as such. It's not going to be the savings, it will be creation of wealth from the stock market. Now, when we buy the share, what we do? I mean, it's not simply about, of course, now the paper share certificates have gone, but now it is credited to our demat account. What does it mean? Basically, we are betting on that business and the company's ability to do that business. So for example, if you are putting the money in buying the share of, say, a shoe company, that means you are basically betting that yes, people in India, or maybe if they are exporting people abroad, they will continue to use shoes and they will continue to use the company's branded shoes. Okay, or whatever shoes the company is manufacturing. So there are fairly sustainable prospects of that business, and your company also is going to be sustainable. The company's business is also going to be sustainable. The corporate governance will be good. The company will reward its shareholders and all those things. You are betting on that. So naturally, when you choose a company, you must choose it very carefully as such. Third aspect is that share market is not get rich quick scheme. you need to have a lot of patience. So there, don't even dream about that today you have put in the money and in 3 months it is getting doubled. Of course, it is possible, no doubt about it, but that doesn't mean that in case of each and every share, this is going to happen. No, you need to have a patience because that compounding effect will take place only after a few years. And that time, if the shares which you have chosen are really good, the returns would be unimaginable. So that you must keep it in mind. The money which is not required for next 5 to 7 years minimum should only be put in the shares. You should not take any loan for that. It should be only your money. Because sometimes people get tempted that yes, this share is going to go up like this, maybe in 6 months it is going to be double, so why not take some loan, just put in the money into that share. No, nobody can give you any guarantee about the movement of the price of any share. Even the so-called experts also can fail. Mr. Market is much smarter than all of us, please remember that. So we should be able to put in that money for a fairly long period by choosing the good companies. So that is another aspect. In fact, the legendary investor Warren Buffett says that if you can buy those shares and keep it for next 10 years, then only you enter. In fact, he goes further and say that the shares what you are going to buy are not worth keeping for 10 years, then don't invest even for 10 minutes. As simple as that. So that is another fundamental principle of investing into stock market. And as I said earlier, this is equally applicable for mutual funds because mutual funds are indirect way of investing. Now, as I said, share market movements are very frequent. In fact, every moment there is a change in the price of the share. So you should always have a patience. You should always have a mindset also, stable mindset. Now here, the principles of Gita will come into picture. Now you may say that Gita is a spiritual book. How it has got application in share market? In fact, I would say it has got universal application first of all, and not only that, if you apply the principles of Gita in share market, there is a high probability that you will create such kind of wealth which you can't even imagine. So we'll just see the principles of Gita one by one. First is karmanye vadhikaraste. So basically what it says that you must do your karma. Okay, but at the same time, it is also said that you should do good karma. Okay, so whatever good karma you will do, you will get good something in return. If you do bad karma, you will get bad results. So in short, if you apply this principle in stock market, if you choose a good company, there are fair chances of having multi-bagger returns. If you choose a bad company for investment, obviously there is a chance that you may lose even your entire capital. So this is first principle. Secondly, even in that karma also, when Bhagavan Sri Krishna told Arjuna that you must do the war, he didn't say that you just throw the arrows in the air. No, you must hit the target. So that means Arjuna has to use his entire skills. That means we should also study good companies, and then only when we are convinced we should put in the money in the shares of that company. The second principle of Gita is Sukha Dukkha Samay Krutva, Labha Labho Jaya. So there what he says that okay, whatever happens, be cool. In fact, he says you be sthita prajna. So as I said, every moment there could be changes in the stock price. Suppose you have invested in a stock, say today the price is when you invested the price is say 100 rupees. Now, maybe after 5 minutes it can be 95 or it can be 100, 105. Nobody has any control on these movements of the share price. So, you be sthita prajna. If you are convinced about the potential of that share, just buy and sit tight. Simple. There could be moments of anxiety because tomorrow, suppose the market comes down, your 100 rupees share may come down to 90 or even 80 also. But if you are convinced about the business as well as that company, then you should not do, because one thing is clear: the loss in the stock market is always notional, it is only on paper, as long as you do not take the action of selling that stock. So on paper, there could be losses that today you have bought, maybe after a month when you see your portfolio, there could be some loss. It's a notional loss. But in that case, if you get panicky and sell, then it becomes the actual loss. So when you are convinced about the company and its business, you should not get panicky. Okay, short-term ups and downs. In fact, ups and downs is an integral part of stock market as well as our life. It's as simple as that. So in that case, you should not lose your sleep. You should not. It should not make you cause your BP shoot up. So let the ups and downs are there. Be cool. Just sit tight on that. So these are the basic principles of Gita, what we can implement, and then only we can have really unimaginable returns. I'll just give you a couple of examples which are reported in the media. First example is, this is not a recommendation, of course. First example is that of Deepak Nitrite. Now it is reported that 10 years back, if somebody has put in the money in the Deepak Nitrite share, today the share has returned more than 100 times. That means 1 lakh investment has become, say, more than a crore or something in just 10 years. It is possible. It is possible only in stock market. The second example which is reported in the media, again not a recommendation, is that of Bajaj Finance. 12 years back, if somebody has invested, say, 1 lakh rupees in the shares of Bajaj Finance, today it is worth, say, 3.5 crore or 3.25 crore, whatever is the rate. So 325 times or something like that. So these kind of returns are possible. The only thing which is required is you must choose your companies carefully, bet on proper businesses. You can create a portfolio of, say, 15 shares, 20 shares, 25 shares, because diversification is also one of the important rules of the stock market investment. Of course, there are some investors who are extremely expert. They choose only 3 shares, 5 shares, and all that. But yes, their risk-taking capacity or risk-taking appetite is much more. So they simply don't even bother if some call goes wrong. And mind you, we are normal investors. Even the so-called experts also can err. Don't worry about that. When you choose stocks, say 15 to 20 stocks, there is a possibility that even after careful evaluation, one or two companies may not give you good returns. In fact, in the worst case scenario, you may lose your entire, suppose the company gets delisted suddenly. It can happen, no doubt about it. Don't get panicky, because the loss which is there could be more than compensated from the profits of other companies what you have invested. Remember one thing here: there is a limit to the stock to the loss in the stock market, but there is no limit to the profit in the stock market. Please, again I am repeating this: there is a limit to the loss in the stock market, but there is no limit to the profit in the stock market. I'll just give you an example. Suppose you have created a portfolio of, say, 20 shares of different companies, and you have invested, say, 25,000 each, just an example, in each of these shares. Now, out of that, two companies, in the worst case scenario, as I said, got delisted, it has become zero. So you have, what you have lost is 25,000 and 25,000 in both the companies, that is 50,000. Fair enough. But at the same time, in the long term, When two of your other companies, other investments have become 10x, tenfold returns. That means the 25,000 what you have invested has become 2,50,000. That means in two companies it has become say 5 lakh. So these kind of returns are possible. What is required is choosing the businesses properly, studying it. Don't go by the tips, because tips in most of the cases will lead to losses, because you never know from which source that tip has come from. Even though the person is your bosom friend, he might have received that tip from somebody else, and he may not have bad intention, but probably he may have fallen prey to that tip in sharing it with you. So don't do that. Study the companies properly, study the business, because finally what we need to study is the company, which they are, where the corporate governance, the management and all that, and the business in which the company is operating, because whether the business has got potential to grow, what kind of business prospects that particular business has got in the long term. So all these things we will have to study, and thereafter only we can put in the money into the stock market. So these are some of the basic things what we need to keep in mind before entering the stock market. If you have liked this video, please like it. Please press the like button. Please subscribe the channel, and also share this video for the benefit of other people. Let the knowledge be spread. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Sri Ram.